Hey guys, so it's morning coffee time. So let's see where we are in the journal this morning. I did these pages outside, and I actually tried to film them for you guys, but the sun started moving and coming on to my cabana a little bit too quickly. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to splice that one and maybe just put some music behind it just so you guys can see these pages being created, but they were sort of kind of getting in the shadow. But anyway, so I'm back upstairs in my dry studio, and so I'm just gonna do something on my pages with my intuitive scripting. You guys know how I feel about this. There's a blank space there, and I get to fill it up and just sort of, you know, and it matches. I did some of my scripting over here on this Sumi paper. I got this when I was in Australia. It's really a neat. It's a Japanese brand that I don't see the packaging here, but I kind of like it because it has these sort of this texture to it. Not all Sumi paper. I've been working with this for years and years, like more than 30 years, and all of it has a lot of it has different textures. So this is neat. But anyhow, so I used the Liquitex inks on here, and they bleed nicely, but they lay on the surface nicely as well because they're acrylic. And then this right here is a page that of sort of like a tan or taupey color tissue paper that I laid down when I was spray painting some black pieces when I was in the studio. And when I was done, I'm like, okay, I'm not throwing this away because this all becomes my background paper or like just for ideas. I mean, because how neat is this? Like now that it's flattened back out, you get this sort of raised light and shadows, and it just makes an interesting texture. So that's just like an easy thing to do to add into your scrap paper. Just go outside and take some different papers and crumble them up and spray them around a little bit, let them dry, and they become a nice little stash of background. Like here's a full sheet right here. You see, it's just like really nothing. I had some items down I was spray painting. When I was done, it's like thin tissue paper. So I like the paper itself. And so it makes some really nice background paper. So this just goes into my scraps. And of course, I work with that. So now we're going to go to the next page. So this right here, I had taken the journal out recently when I was going on a hike and with a friend of mine, and we had gone to some of the petroglyphs here in Arizona, and there were just some interesting. I wanted to remember some of the symbols, just like simple shapes, just like simple little things, but they were really compelling to think about in terms of designs. So I sketched them in this little book in my journal. And so what I'm going to do is, of course, this obviously doesn't fit with this. So I had the idea to take some of my, I have some of this vintage tracing paper. You can see it's like nice and yellowed. You can see it's like yellowed on the edges and stuff like that. And I had used some of it when I was printing when I was doing some jelly printing, and it was an extra, and I wanted to grab that texture. So anyhow, but I thought this would be cool on here to put down to sort of cover it, which blends it. And then I'll put some more of this on the bottom. So that's my idea. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and glue up the page. And let's just turn this into, put my waste paper down because we always like to do that. And let's just see what we get here. I have my Yoo-Hoo glue stick, which I love these. They're really good. I find they don't dry hard and start cracking and paper start popping off. I have journals that I've used, that I've done years, like 4 or 5 years old with this Yoo-Hoo, and the pages are still flexible. Stuff is still stuck down really nicely. So all glue sticks are not equal. Okay, so I'm gonna match my top edges up so that just kind of get a clean edge at the top. Like that. Fold folder. Already that makes it look a lot better, but yet I can keep my ideas. So a lot of times when I sketch right in my journal, um, but I wanted to sort of blend more with my style of working, then I'll do something like this. I'll come back and use a tissue paper or something like that to kind of go over it. So I can still see the ideas that I wanted to capture, but they flow more with the overall journal. Okay. There, that's that part. And then I'm gonna take some of this and put it, I get organized here. Too many things right here. So let's see. So yeah. Alrighty. So take this edge, screw this up. Okay, so I'll kind of do it like this. And I like this mark making on here. Like, to me, this is perfect for, just put that over there. But it's perfect for this whole concept. Oh, just take this and bend it over the back too. Why not? Sometimes I'll do that too, like on this flip side, because it's clear and it just adds another, I mean, it's, you know, transparent, translucent, and it adds another dimension to this side. So sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll cut it. It just depends on the paper. So I like that. So I feel like this spread now is more harmonious with these other pages. Like, I feel like I can go from here and flip through and like it's still working together. So now let's do something over here. I'm gonna use some more of this. I guess I'll use the rest of it. This is perfect. Yay, I like when a plan comes together. Yep, let's do it like that. Glue that up, and then I'm gonna put something extra at the bottom. Maybe since it's glyphs, I will do some more of that. Let's see. It's kind of cool. I put that at the bottom of it. How about that? Okay. Perfect. This is good. And I want to show you these. We do these morning coffee journaling times because oftentimes this is when I do journal. It's in the morning before I get going. I still have my pajamas on. I have my morning coffee, which I have right here. Been drinking it down. I love those espresso pods. I have that Virtuoso. And oh my goodness, that coffee is so good. If you're a coffee lover, I like both coffee and tea, so I kind of go both ways. But I love coffee, and I love my morning warm drinks. So yesterday I had ginger, some really good ginger tea. But anyway, the Nespresso Virtuoso, that thing is, oh, those coffees are so good. So that's normally what I'm drinking. Okay, so let's see. Let's take a piece of this off. And let's put this down. I don't like the way this looks cut, so I'm just going to, I don't mind it extending over, but I don't want it to have that edge on it. So I'll just tear a piece of this off. And Yep, there we go. That's perfect. Yay. Okay, so let me move on this. And so here you see I've done 2 pages in this sitting. And generally, I end up doing 2 pages when I sit down, even if I get it done every single day. Oftentimes, I don't know, I just end up working the 2 pages because it's hard to stop. So oftentimes at the end of the year, I have more than 365 days. But anyway, it gives you a ton of ideas, and that's what this is all about. But let's say you only get to your journal every other morning or something like that. If you do a 2-page spread, by the end of the week, you have 6 days. And that's significant. That's like really a good amount of ideas and time to spend with your journaling and with what you have going here. So see, this really turned out nicely. And it's just an easy solution to all of my little petroglyph drawings. And it actually looks like they're in rocks and all that stuff, doesn't it? Like how they were. So then what I'll probably do is come back with my little thing, and I'll just, this is the La Pen, and it's the brush pen, La Pen brush pen. So yeah. So I'm going to just do some of this down the side of the page, integrate. I don't know, my intuitive scripting is so much a part of my landscape when I'm working. It's just the kind of symbolism that I like working with. So I do have a tendency to add it in different times. There we go. So that's nice. So that's done. Those 2 pages done. And how long has this been? We haven't been working that long. So it really doesn't take a lot of time. And so what I suggest as you continue to work with me, just have a pile of scraps. Like this is what I pulled from. They're just scraps. They were scraps and stuff I was working on. It doesn't have to be anything really precious. It could just be the stuff that you were painting on and they're one-offs, and you're just going to kind of work them back into some ideas. I would suggest getting things out of magazines as well. If you haven't been doing a lot of painting, then just cut stuff out of just tear pages out of magazines. So when you go to sit down, you can be ready just to kind of play with them, and then also do some of these painted papers like I showed you here. Just get regular old tissue paper. Save the tissue paper from gifts because they come in all different colors. And I'll use black spray paint or white or gold. I love gold too. I don't have any gold right here in front of me, but gold looks really great. And then do some of these up as well, just on tissue paper. And then just keep yourself a nice stack going. Keep it to the side. If you've seen my What's in My Bag art video, you guys know how I keep all those papers there together like that. It's a great way to keep everything in one little spot. So in the morning, have yourself your cup of coffee, sit down in a quiet spot. You can do it at your dining room table or, your kitchen table. You don't have to have any fancy art spot. If you have an outdoor deck with a nice little table on there, do it out there and sit down and just play with your ideas. I did want to try these on. I was waiting for me to finish this page because I got these Durwood ink and tints. I love them. I haven't tried this color. I've tried the black. This one is called Ink Black, and I like it a lot. I got this red one. I hadn't tried it yet. It's called Shiraz, like the wine. So I wanted to kind of work it back in the scripting. And these are, see what they do, but they, and then I put the marks down. You can see them there. And then you activate them with water. So I keep my little water pen here, my brush pen. I love this here. Let's get it going. And I keep this one in my little carry bag. And then just activate it with water. Oh, that's nice. See? It just turns it inky. If you you can really spread it, see? Or I can do it lightly so it moves the color, but I still see the line underneath it. I like this color. This is nice. That's nice. I gave it a nice little, as it dries, it'll just kind of, you can still see the line underneath it, but it spreads the color. I like those. I like this color. It works well. All right, guys. So there we are. So morning coffee. Have a great cup yourself or coffee or tea and do some work and have a wonderful day. And I'll see you back very soon. All righty. Bye-bye.